Alrighty then. My impersonation of a movie from the 90s. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sellers in this market and not to worry, because I think our biggest problem right now is people are worried about uncertainty in the market. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, if you watch cable news, they do a pretty good job at creating that uncertainty.
Cable news. Is that the same as if you don't have, is that like streaming content too, or?
Well, just that,
I'm just messing with you.
Well, I can't even think of the local news station. I quit watching them because they're all negative. But
yeah, well, that's a newspaper. That's why I step over instead of pick it up, because there's nothing in there I can change, but everything in there can change me.
Yeah, that's good for cleaning windows on your car.
Yeah. Or actually, that's what they used back in the 50s and 60s. So good job there, buddy.
My grandma taught me that.
Yeah. Well, that was the best thing to clean windows, with vinegar and that, I think. So, but then he smelled like vinegar. So, all right. So I want to kind of get into that because there's such uncertainty right now because of rates and not knowing where we're going. We got the primary coming up on the 7th or whatever of June. There's just a lot of uncertainty that people are seeing where our country, and I'm not trying to get political, but this is what people are feeling. I've talked to them and they're saying the uncertainty out there is messing with them. And I'm telling people, take advantage of it and get your house.
Exactly. It's kind of interesting because people,
whoever they are, those people.
Well, like the stock market goes up and people are like, that's it, I'm selling off. And then the stock market's up and everyone wants to buy. Right. And so, this is kind of the time to capitalize. Like you're saying, this is when there's a majority of people that there's some uncertainty and they're not sure what they really want to do. Jump on it right now. It's still a seller's market. It's still a really strong market. What I'm seeing though, as of just like the last few weeks, home prices are obviously just historically, at a good place and they're high, right? So we're not going to see.
It's all relative.
So, well, I'm gonna say let's compare.
Where are we talking high, like in our area compared to what we're used to, or high to the Bay Area coming over here?
Well, yeah, we're talking Central Valley, right?
All right. I'm just saying it's not high to somebody from San Diego or the Bay Area.
Yeah, but it's all kind of relative to the area where I work, right? So, so anyway, we're seeing record values still in homes. The only thing we're not seeing is just the volume of traffic, and that's mostly because a lot of these people that were flooding these houses, taking viewings and writing offers, were when we were 3%. Right in that area.
I know, but we talked about this before. I put on Facebook, about, what's the problem? We are historically still low of interest rates, right? Yeah. If you look at historically going back, we're in the lowest we've ever been still. I know it's not the 2.99, but we're also not in a pandemic where we don't know what the heck's going to happen and whether or not you're going to have a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we still have a major problem with our country going forward with certain things, but most people have jobs. And go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say, and what I noticed, with the market is there's like a 6-month readjustment, right? Like all of a sudden, once you start hearing the same rates, say rates or whatever, and I know I can't like say rates, right? But say we have, the average is like in the 5s or in the 6s. Once people hear that for the next few months, then they start adjusting to say, okay, well, this is the market now, right? But it's that initial shock when rates jump.
Right, because they don't know, and that's a lot of buyers are getting off the fence right now and buying and actually getting their offer accepted on a property they wouldn't have been able to before, and they'd be very upset. So you have to do kind of like other people. You do things when other people don't do it. And right now, a lot of, like I keep saying, the uncertainty out there. And I just want to show one reason why. So a lot of people would go to new home sales, right, to get more houses and get more stuff going on. And I share the let's show here. Share the new home sales, right? The median price for new home sales is $450,000. This is nationwide. Yeah. And look at the change over here. Let me put the mouse over here. The change year over year. We're down 26% on new home sales. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not surprising, especially with the supply chain shortage.
Right. And that's the issue, right? So new home sales was measured, signed contracts on new homes were down. Well, look at that mistake. 17% in April and 591 annualized pace, which was in line with expectation. However, it shows it's weaker because I adjusted from the month before. But the year over year, we're down 27%. That's what was shown on there. Yeah. But why the big decline? No answer? Okay.
Well,
I'll tell you.
I was waiting for your answer. Yeah. I thought
it's what we were talking about. Rates are a little bit higher. home prices have an impact, what you just said, right? And the biggest thing is uncertainty. And so it normally takes about 6 months to build a new home, right? In today's, it's so much longer. They don't even know when it's going to complete it with the supply chain issue. And that's huge. People don't want to make plans in advance with rates going up, higher fears of recession, and they're not on new homes. So they don't want to get in an offer on a new home and it's not completed because it doesn't have a solid finish date. Yeah. That's our issue with new home sales, and why, at that point, they're currently in April, we're talking regular sales. We're at 44,000, which is normal, but we're actually, this is again with new home sales. So it's how many, only 6% of those new home sales have been completed. Total of 100%, only 6.
Well, and I had some clients that were interested in selling their house and buying new construction, and all the builders that I called, they told me, well, everything right now we have is sold, right, but even if we did have something come up, we're looking 9 months out at least, because
they don't know when they're going to get all the stuff to put the doors in and the windows and the appliances. And that's the problem right now.
Yeah.
So we're still in a market where house values are going up, and average home price came in at 5.7, which is up 31% year over year. So what does that say?
But still a seller's market. Yeah.
Yeah. So what normally would get people to, I'll go buy a new home because I don't want to deal with this resale part. Well, that's the problem. They're not there, and it's going to take a long time to get there.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, I think, about how we're only averaging about 200,000 extra homes a year to go towards the deficit of are close to 4 million homes, which is at that rate, it's going to take 19 years to get out of this.
Well,
and then all those babies you guys keep putting out is going to cause another problem we talked about last week, which is in 25 years from now, we're going to have this. So we just get out of this and get caught up, and then we got this huge boom coming, and then we're going to get behind again.
Yeah.
So, we keep having people on the radio show for, the politicians, and talking about what they plan on doing. I think the biggest thing that we need to do is go back to what we did when people came back from war, and we built all these huge home projects for veterans who came back and that kind of stuff. We need to have a 5-year plan of some way of getting rid of regulation for that 5-year plan to build so many homes and get it done, so we can get caught up in California, get caught up elsewhere.
Yeah. That's the whole problem with California, right? I mean,
well, it's not, there's many, but okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but there's a huge majority of the state is federal land, right? So you can't build on that. So now we're trying to build on farmland, which I think is ridiculous, but even then they make it difficult to where, some developer, it takes them 10 to 15 years before they even start breaking ground, because they have to go through all the investigations and make sure they're not endangering
some smelt or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some worm.
Hey, I mean,
because water-wise, housing and farm is about the same for per acre use of water. So it's not like it's better to be farm and better to be housing. It's about the same amount of use of water.
No, I'm just thinking about how we keep building on all this rich soil, this great farmland, but still we're always going to have a housing crisis because we keep having more babies
and more people come here.
Yeah.
We can't, with the analyzed rate of the forming of households is huge. I think it was 1.4 million year over year. It's like, that's a lot of households that are getting formed. Yeah. Anyway, so how do we fix this? I don't know. But the biggest thing right now is don't be discouraged. And I know people are going, oh, these people are saying that they're just trying to sell homes. They're just trying to get people on mortgages. No, I totally agree that the only way to protect yourself when we're going through inflation and everything else is to have that asset, because rents are going to keep going through the roof and you're not going to have protection. So you need to get into a home. So you have two choices. You're paying a mortgage for someone. The question is it going to be you or your landlord?
Yeah. And any smart investor is going to tell you always do the opposite of what everyone else is doing, right? So right now, like you said, when there's uncertainty in the market and a lot of buyers are saying they're going to hold off and they're waiting for, the crash. We always hear that. Right. This is time to buy because you're competing with a lot fewer buyers right now.
Every one of my clients I've had got in contract, and they are closing early because I had an appraisal done in 5 hours.
No kidding.
Yeah. We paid it. They went out there and we had it that evening at 7:30.
Just because they're not so backlogged right now.
Well, I think that's, there's no, hardly refinances going on unless it's cash out. You got to make really amazing sense. And then, you have reverse mortgages and other stuff, but yeah. So, I'm going to add, so in that bucket over there, we're going to ask one question each. Grab a question out of there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to grab a question for you. All right. So here, I'm going to go first. We're just going to do, so how long does it take to buy a house? Real estate wise?
Yeah. How long? Hopefully no more than 30 days, right? Because if we go out and start looking and we write a competitive offer, we get in the contract, 30 days is the average escrow. If anything, we can try and close it earlier.
Right. And for us, I mean, like I said, with the one that we just had the appraisal, we're closing that one in 9 days.
Yeah.
Because it came in fast. And that's it. But the issue you run into, everybody has to be on board, right? Because not the sell, and this just worked out where the seller had already bought another property. This one fell out of escrow, and when they got their offer accepted over in the Bay Area, they got their offer accepted, and these people have been turned down for a year and a half. Every offer they've been putting out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, go your question.
All right. Can VA loan be used for an investment property?
It can be used if you're buying a 1 to 4 unit and you're going to rent one of the units. I mean, if you're going to live in one of the units, there's the word I'm looking for. So it can't go buy an investment property that you're not going to live in. But if you do 1 to 4 units, a triplex, a duplex, a fourplex, and you live in one of the units, yes, you can buy it with a VA loan. You just have to qualify for the whole payment. You can't use the rents to qualify. That's the only problem with VA. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
yes,
caveat.
That's not a major caveat because most of the time people can afford the whole thing, but and it's easy. Then you get in there with nothing down. So
and now, how long would you have to occupy the 1 unit?
According to your loan documents, it says you're going to be there for a year.
Gotcha.
However, situations can change. Job transfers, certain things can change where you don't have to be there for that year. Just have to, I would just say document it and put it somewhere what happened in case someone ever comes back. You used this wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people want to know, which is probably another question in there, but you can have multiple VA loans. If I bought a house today and then I got transfers from here to another place, I can buy a VA there.
So what's the radius where you have to?
There isn't one. It just has to make sense.
So what if you had a VA loan here in Modesto and you got a job transfer to San Jose?
Yeah, that's what I said. It just has to make sense.
Yeah.
I had somebody who had one in Calaveras and wanted to work there. All their work was down here, so they decided to move to Oakdale. Gotcha. And they were able to do that because it's 2 different places and the job, and it made sense. You just have to make sense. Stop looking at these TikTok videos saying, I got a hack to do this one or do this. We've had those hacks over the last 25 years, and that's how people got into trouble. It's nothing new. You're not thinking of, a lot of these people are like, check this out. I just figured this out. No, it's already been figured out. And we said, underwriting said, no.
Yeah. Yeah, they said, no, that's fraud, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Okay. That is fraud. So each time we're on and we're going to ask these questions, and then we'll cut them up and put them on YouTube, and we'll put them for shorts. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And then that way we can get more information out there for people.
No, I like it because sometimes, people come up with questions we never thought about.
Right. I mean, one of the things I also want to let people know, stop listening. And then we got a couple more minutes. Stop listening to these people on TikTok. I mean, I'm one of them, but what I'm talking about is you have these people dancing and saying, this is my way to tell my buyer that I got him, with a 550 FICO score, I got him approved in underwriting. Well, we've had FHA 10% down to 500 FICO score forever. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
But unless you got 10% down, don't do it. And even if you do, it's not an easy thing. It's a manual underwrite. So be careful of these people dancing and telling you how they got this done and this done. I was telling my coach yesterday, he goes, yeah, you should do it so I can laugh at you in the evening when I'm drinking my scotch. Anyway, I'm like, because he goes, that's the only way I tell you. Because I just don't, the long-term, these are all little things that get you guys to like their thing and follow them. Find the professionals on everything you are and just follow them. Okay.
Great advice, Ed. Thank you. As always.
Right, everybody, have a great day, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All righty.